Your soulmate desires to attain out soon. Find out what modified today, my loved child, something modified nowadays that even your soulmate in no way anticipated. For goodbye, they saved convincing themselves that staying silent changed into the safest preference. They believe time could erase each reminiscence connected to you. However, these days, without caution, one small second broke through each wall they had carefully built round their heart. A familiar music, a forgotten area, a single sentence from someone they agree with, or maybe a quiet moment alone all at once reminded them of the whole lot they attempted to depart in the back of. Don't skip, due to the fact this is handiest the beginning. Live till the give up, because something large is watching for you. Right now, they may be asking themselves a query they've avoided for some distance too lengthy. What if reaching out adjustments the whole lot? That thought has become not possible to ignore. It arrived quietly, but it's far developing stronger every minute. What occurred these days became no longer dramatic on the outside, but interior them it felt like an earthquake. The silence they trusted no longer feels cozy. For the primary time in a long term, they may be questioning if the distance between you was in no way meant to ultimate forever. There is every other detail that almost no one knows in advance these days. They obtained a verbal exchange, a reminiscence, or a realization that absolutely shifted the way they see your connection. They abruptly understood that a few of the fears keeping them returned had been constructed on assumptions in place of truth. That discovery did not erase each doubt, however it opened a door that were locked for what felt like for all time. Don't bypass. Stay till the give up. Something massive is anticipating you. They're replaying old moments with new eyes. Noticing signs they overlooked earlier then and remembering phrases that now carry a very exclusive WHI. Means, they preserve thinking whether you also felt this invisible alternate these days. The odd component is they cannot explain why this sense had become so effective. Each try to distract themselves only brings your call lower back into their mind. They never predicted today to come to be the turning point. Yet that is precisely what it has began to end up, and now comes the element that makes this story not possible to forget. As at the present time comes to an end, your soulmate is status at the threshold of a decision they've postponed time and again. Their coronary heart is pushing ahead at the same time as their thoughts remains trying to slow the whole lot down. The balance between the ones is becoming tougher to hold. That is why the next step topic's extra than either of you realizes. Don't bypass, due to the fact what changed nowadays is handiest getting ready the path for something plenty larger. Live till the give up, because something huge is expecting you. The message they almost typed, the call they nearly made, and the reality they're finally ready to face are all connected to at least one surprising second that has not passed off yet. While that moment arrives, nothing approximately this connection will sense the identical once more. The most important revelation continues to be ahead, and what happens next will explain why these days became the day the whole thing quietly commenced to alternate. A quiet shift is happening that your soulmate cannot ignore. On every occasion they are attempting to transport on with their day, something abruptly brings your reminiscence again. It isn't happening once or twice, it continues occurring over and over, until they subsequently prevent asking why and begin asking what they should do next. Do not skip, live until the give up. Something big is watching for you. The feeling internal them is turning into stronger than their fear. They may be starting to recognize that silence has never given them the peak they hoped it'd. Alternatively, each quiet second reminds them of the communication they by no means had with you. That realization is converting the whole lot. What as soon as felt not possible is starting to experience important, and that exchange started out growing an awful lot quicker than they expected. In advance nowadays, a person said something absolutely every day, yet it landed of their heart with sudden pressure. The one's easy phrases made them reflect on consideration on neglected chances, unfinished moments, and everything they left unsaid. Considering then, they had been imagining what might show up if they finally reached out. They picture your response. They marvel whether you would smile, stay silent, or be amazed. Do not skip. Due to the fact the subsequent component famous why this concept refuses to depart them. Stay until the stop. Something large is anticipating you. They've already come closer to creating a flow than ever before. Greater than as soon as these days, they located themselves opening a message display screen, pausing for an extended second, then ultimate it again. But whenever they stopped, the choice to reconnect simplest back stronger than before. The space that once included them is beginning to experience like the very factor retaining them from the happiness they had been attempting to find. Now the energy round this connection is turning into not possible to overlook. Your soulmate feels that waiting for all time is now not the solution. A quiet self-belief is beginning to replace hesitation, and each passing hour strengthens that feeling. Don't pass, because the following revelation adjustments the whole thing. Live until the stop. Something big is watching for you. What they're approximately to discover subsequent will eliminate one of the most important reasons they stayed silent for so long. When that final piece falls into area, the route toward attaining out becomes clearer than ever before. The instant they had been delaying is transferring closer, and what occurs subsequent ought to come to be the start of a completely exceptional chapter for each of you. A moment is drawing near that your soulmate never thought they would be equipped for. Deep inner, they could experience that something has quietly changed, and this sense refuses to disappear. Each distraction fades, however your reminiscence stays. Every new day someway circles return to you. Do not skip, stay till the quit. Something big is awaiting you. They have got started noticing little reminders anywhere, almost as though existence continues putting your call in front of them without announcing an unmarried phrase. What surprises them most is not the reminiscences themselves, but how peaceful the one's recollections all of a sudden feel. The fear that when controlled each decision is slowly losing its grip. In its place, a new notion is growing more potent. Maybe reaching out is now not something to worry, however something they had been preparing for all alongside. There may be any other trade going on under the surface that no one round them can see. They may be now not asking whether or not they have to overlook you as a substitute. They're asking whether or not they have already waited too long. That unmarried query has end up not possible to get away. Do not skip, due to the fact that is wherein the whole lot starts to attach. Live till the quit. Something big is anticipating you. They began imagining the first communication after a lot silence. They replay exceptional possibilities in their mind, hoping to find the best phrases, yet knowing that perfection may additionally by no means come. What matters now's honesty. Each passing hour is coaching them that some opportunities handiest remain open for a quick time, and that they do now not need to spend another day thinking what ought to have took place if they had truly taken one courageous leap forward. The biggest marvel has no longer arrived but proper. Now, your soulmate is closer than ever to coming across one very last fact that adjustments their complete perspective. When they recognize it, hesitation will not have the identical electricity over them. Do not pass. Live until the cease. Something big is looking ahead to you. A quiet selection is forming interior their heart, and as soon as that decision will become clear, the whole thing that follows will move plenty quicker than both of you expects. The subsequent chapter starts with a cognizance they can't keep away from, and while that recognition subsequently reaches them, the silence between you may not final a good deal longer. The whole thing is turning into clearer now. Even though your soulmate has now not spoken an unmarried word to you, but they are beginning to take into account that each motive they created for staying silent has started out to lose its strength. The doubts that once felt impossible to conquer are fading one at a time. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something large is looking ahead to you. Nowadays they caught themselves smiling at a memory they'd avoided for goodbye. That unexpected smile revealed something they might not deny. Their heart is not combating the connection. As an alternative, it's miles quietly leading them in the direction of the next step. They in no way imagined that the moment might arrive, yet now it feels closer than ever before. Any other surprising exchange has regarded. A person around them shared a easy notion that stayed of their thoughts lengthy after the verbal exchange ended. Those phrases made them comprehend that ready all the time most effective creates more unanswered questions. Considering the fact that then, they have been thinking about what they honestly want in place of what fear has been telling them. Do not skip. Because the following revelation modifications the whole lot. Stay until the end. Something massive is waiting for you. They're no longer centered at the beyond. Their interest is slow turning in the direction of the future, and one way or the other, every model of that destiny continues leading lower back to you. If this story is preserving you on the edge of your seat, don't forget to proportion this journey with someone who believes significant connection nonetheless exists, and subscribe so you don't omit what occurs next, due to the fact the biggest turning point is still ahead. The very last piece is starting to fall into location. Your soulmate is closer than ever to creating a desire that once seemed impossible. They're beginning to consider that a few opportunities deserve courage as opposed to hesitation. Do not bypass. Stay until the end. Something big is expecting you. What they may be approximately to find out subsequent will take away the remaining barrier standing between silence and motion. Once that happens, the direction towards accomplishing out will sense natural in place of unsure. The subsequent moment will monitor why the whole lot that changed these days changed into handiest the beginning of a tale. This is approximately to take an unforgettable flip. A quiet self-assurance has now replaced the uncertainty that once crammed your soulmates. Coronary heart, they may be no longer seeking to silence the thoughts that main them return to you. Rather, they're beginning to simply accept that those thoughts have a reason. Don't skip. Live till the stop. Something massive is awaiting you. Each passing moment strengthens the feeling that today was now not a normal day. It had become the day when the entirety started pointing in one course. They're figuring out that some connections continue to be alive no matter how tons time passes. The more they mirror, the more they understand that strolling away in no way in reality erased what they felt. It most effective delayed a moment that now seems impossible to avoid. There's one final consciousness quietly unfolding interior them. They have stopped searching for the idea. Time due to the fact they are starting to consider that perfect moments are created, not found. That single trait in attitude has transformed the entirety. Don't bypass due to the fact this subsequent revelation brings the complete tale together. Stay till the give up. Something massive is anticipating you. They are imagining what the first few words would possibly sound like while the silence sooner or later ends. They marvel whether or not a simple greeting could open a trendy bankruptcy. What surprises them maximum is how calm they feel on every occasion they photograph reconnecting with you. The worry that when shouted internal their mind has grown to be nothing extra than a whisper. At the same time as wish keeps to grow stronger with every passing hour, now the tale is drawing close its maximum unforgettable second. Your soulmate is status simply one choice far from converting the path of this connection. They are able to sense that waiting any further not makes feel. Don't pass. Stay till the cease. Something large is expecting you. The next step will not happen because of pressure or twist of fate. It will show up due to the fact their coronary heart has finally become more potent than their hesitation. The message they have imagined so many times is closer than ever to becoming real, and when that moment subsequently arrives, you will understand why the entirety that modified today was leading towards this single, existence-converting decision. The final chapter will screen the one thing that gives them the courage to reach out at ultimate. The instant your soulmate has been transferring toward is sooner or later inside reach. The entirety that changed these days has quietly organized them for this single selection. They're no longer looking for every other excuse to wait. Instead, they may be taking note of the part of their coronary heart that has refused to give up on this connection. Do not skip. Live until the cease. Something big is watching for you, for the primary time in an extended even as the destiny feels brighter than the past. They keep in mind that silence has already stated the whole lot it is able to say. Now, only movement can display what comes subsequent. That awareness has ended up impossible to disregard, and each passing hour makes it more potent. There is one final wonder that even they did now not anticipate. The braveness they have been waiting for did no longer arrive suddenly. It grew from every memory, every lesson, and each quiet second that introduced your call lower back into their thoughts. The once small moments have come to be one powerful motive to forestall keeping again. Do not skip. Live until the cease. Something massive is looking ahead to you. They are starting to believe that attaining out isn't about converting the past. It's far approximately giving the future a risk it has by no means had earlier than. The walls that one felt not possible to climb are slowly disappearing, leaving handiest one simple question of their coronary heart. What beautiful chapter may want to start if they ultimately take that first step? As this adventure comes to a close, one fact stands above the whole thing else. What modified these days changed into in no way simply every other passing feeling. It had become the turning point that converted uncertainty into wish. Do not pass this very last message, because something large has been awaiting you from the very starting. Your soulmate is nearer than ever to breaking the silence, now not due to the fact someone forced them, but due to the fact their coronary heart has in the end discovered the braveness it become trying to find. The following bankruptcy belongs to the selection they may be getting ready to make, and whilst that second arrives, it may come to be the beginning of a story neither of you ever expected, a story that starts with one honest attain, one honest connection, and one unforgettable new starting. The story does now not chew with the choice, in lots of ways. That is where the whole lot truly starts. Your soulmate has crossed the hardest impediment, the war interior, their very own coronary heart. What stays is locating the proper moment to allow their feelings become actual. Do not bypass. Stay until the end. Something huge is anticipating you. Every quiet second now feels exclusive to them. They're being attentive to symptoms they once unnoticed and noticing possibilities they would have walked past before. The space between you not feels permanent. Instead, it feels like the very last stretch earlier than paths in the end move closer together. That quiet wish has grown to be stronger than any fear they as soon as carried. Something else has changed in a manner they never predicted. They've stopped focusing on what ought to cross incorrect and began imagining what should cross right. That single shift has filled them with a self-belief they've no longer felt in a totally long time. Do not skip. Stay until the quit. Something large is watching for you. They're knowing that some of the happiest moments in lifestyles begin with one easy act of courage. Every memory of you now feels much less like a reminder of the past and more like an invitation in the direction of the destiny. The thought of achieving out now not feels impossible. It feels natural, as even though every revel-in has quietly prepared them for this precise moment. Now comes the final marvel that has been constructing underneath the surface. Your soulmate believes that these days was simplest the start of a much bigger exchange. The sensation inside them continues to grow and it refuses to vanish away. Do not skip. Live till the stop. Something large is watching for you. The words they have been attempting to find are becoming clearer with every passing moment, and the silence that once separated you is starting to lose its power. Very soon, one small motion could open a totally new bankruptcy, proving that the quiet exchange that commenced nowadays became never every day. It was step one closer to a connection prepared to be rediscovered in a manner neither of you imagined. The quiet transformation inside your soulmate has now reached a point where it can't be hidden anymore. They have got carried these mind in silence for what seems like forever. However, nowadays they understand something they in no way understood earlier. Then a few opportunities best appear once and they decline to permit this one disappear. Do not bypass. Stay till the give up. Something massive is awaiting you. Every memory that when felt heavy now fills them with desire instead of remorse. They are starting to see your connection as something well worth defensive rather than something to keep away from. That trait has turned out to be the most powerful feeling in their coronary heart, and it continues to grow with each passing hour. There may be one final realization that maintains returning to them. They finally keep in mind that expecting the precise sign may additionally have been the best aspect preserving them from taking the first step. The braveness they have been trying to find changed into already internal all of them along. Don't skip, live until the give up. Something huge is looking ahead to you. They may be no longer asking whether or not they must attain out. They are quietly figuring out how they want that first second to take place. Every possibility they believe ends the equal way. With honesty, with desire, and with a hazard to begin again, the future they once believed turned into out of reach feels nearer than ever earlier. Then, as this adventure reaches its very last moments, one reality shines brighter than everything else. What modified these days changed into by no means just another passing feeling. It became the beginning of a very one-of-a-kind path. Don't pass this closing message. Live until the give up. Something huge is anticipating you. Your soulmate is wearing a Renee Amen Join God Bulls.